Hi there, and welcome to the show. I'm Robin Shuckburgh, and you find me today in a small trading estate at the bottom end of the Botley Road in Oxford. And we've come to see the tap social movement. This is an extraordinary bunch of people who've started a small brewery. The purpose of this extraordinary project is to help people in the criminal justice system. Now it's freezing cold, so we're now going to head off and meet the team. Come with me. Well, it's really good of you to talk to us. I know this is a busy day for you because you're opening this evening for the first time to the general public, which is so exciting. Well, thank you for welcoming us to your tap room.
Thank you very much for coming. Thanks. It's really
But
nice
I actually really am fascinated to find out how all this started. So I don't know which of you would like to start this, but I mean, can you tell me how the idea came to you?
Sure. Well, to start off with, we are sisters, and we had a third partner called Paul, who's my partner. We all come from a vaguely criminal justice related background. I'm currently doing a PhD in criminology and have worked in various roles across the criminal justice system. Tess used to work as a counsellor, helping people with criminal records to get back into work and get pardons for those records.
Right.
And Paul is a criminal barrister. And so we were kind of looking for ways to help support people in the criminal justice system and getting back to work. We've seen lots of failings in the system, and so we were living in London, and Tess was managing a couple of different craft beer bars, and she became really interested in craft beer. She was doing some brewing herself and doing lots of brewery tours, and we all kind of became really interested and excited about it and started home brewing as well. And then we suddenly realized that the two together made perfect sense. The craft beer industry is growing.
It's becoming enormous. I mean, it's one of the great fashions.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's really exciting. It's an exciting, vibrant, young industry.
Yeah.
There are so many places to go from it. I mean, you have a huge set of transferable skills when you brew. I mean, there's loads on the licensing and the regulation side, and then there's loads on the actual kind of chemistry side. There's more kind of manual work. There's just lots to get into, and so we decided that the perfect way of doing this is to set up a brewery where we work with people in prisons to give them the sort of skills and training, and then support them in finding long-term employment.
Right. So you start with them while they're still serving their sentences.
That's right. Yeah. The idea is that the guys will be coming out from the prison. They'll be learning on sort of two work streams. So we have a brewing work stream, and we also have a business like startup kind of thing. And so it means that there'll be a chance for people to learn either all about brewing, from sort of recipe creation, ordering ingredients, doing the actual brewing, the chemistry behind it, packaging, distribution, or for lots of the guys, they'll already have loads of skills and they'll struggle to find work because of the criminal record. And so we thought that being able to work in a sort of small startup team, learn about business, face loads of the challenges that they'll face as well, it will give them sort of the skills and the confidence to start up on their own after they leave prison in any other industry.
It's a very exciting idea because I don't know what made you pick Oxford. In fact, I will ask you that question in a minute, but it also has the potential for expansion. There's no reason why this model shouldn't be taken up elsewhere, is there?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what we want to do, is eventually we hope it will kind of span across the whole industry, so we can partner with other breweries as well, and we can show that this is something that really works, that people are excited about.
Right.
And then eventually, hopefully, it will spread across the whole country and it will become more of a kind of normal thing for everyone to be doing.
It's very exciting. So, okay, well, go back to the question. What made you end up in Oxford? Was it just pure chance, or do you have an Oxford background?
Well, I've started a PhD here, and so we were kind of originally looking at London to start up, and then we moved to Oxford and realised that there's really very little on offer here in Oxford in the way of sort of craft beer, and there certainly aren't any kind of tap rooms open that are a similar kind of feel. We were looking at creating a sort of real community space, and we felt that Oxford was a perfect place to do that. Really, it's something different, something exciting, and there's a really nice sort of sense of community here already, and we thought that would work well.
It's interesting you should say that, because there's a huge competition from the point of view of bars in Oxford, but not of the style and kind that you're talking about. It's true, although there are local brewers.
Definitely, yeah. What we're looking at doing is not just creating a sort of bar, but it's more of a community space. We want to be able to hold events here, have workshops and seminars, really give people a place or a platform to sort of hold kind of different types of events. So on our walls we have all of the artwork that's done by children who are in prison right now. All of the beers that we all of the artwork on our beers is done by people in prison as well, all children, so it's a kind of a community space rather than just another bar.
Well, now tell me, you're the one obviously with the expertise of brewery, so and brewing in general. Is that right?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, I was working with craft beer a lot, so I really developed a passion for that, and started doing brewery tours and kind of learning more about it. We were very fortunate. We've been joined by Jason, who's our head brewer. So he came from the States. He was working for another brew pub chain over here, and we got him on board with us, and it's been a perfect match. So he's the expert definitely in the beer, but we all have a pretty good knowledge.
One
and we
always
all
needs a master brewer somewhere in the background. That's absolutely essential. I see. This is fantastic. Now you're opening this evening. How is this going to work? How often are you going to be opening to people to come and drink?
For now, we're doing a few days in January, kind of just to see how it goes and to get people excited about the space. And then we're hoping that in the next few months we'll be open regularly. So we'll have weekend evenings over the weekend as well, Sundays, afternoons, everything.
And you'll start putting on events, and then and publicise it, because you are quite out of the way. I mean, you're down at the bottom end of the Botley Road, and it's. I mean, I know it to be a thriving community. I used to have a small warehouse here in my wine trade days, so I know what it feels like down here. It's a busy place, but it isn't necessarily full of people who are going to be here in the evenings. So you need to draw people, presumably, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're hoping as well with the universities we can get people down. It's not as far as people think. It's about a mile down the road, and there's bike lanes and bus lanes, so it's quite accessible, really. And we're hoping that the beer is good enough that people will come and make the trip in.
So your major emphasis is on your own beers, of course. And do you have a big range of beers, or you've got a...
For the time being, we've got 4. So we're really excited about sour beers. That was something we really wanted to get going from the beginning. So we've got 2 sours, a pale and a stout for the moment, and then as we continue to grow, we're hoping to expand that quite substantially.
Right, brilliant, okay.
We also have a bottle shop where we have some beers from all different breweries, lots of the breweries that have helped us out along the way. But so we are selling some others.
I was going to go ask a question of of what support you're getting, because at first impression was that you were probably being supported by the local authorities and things, but you're not, are you? This is entirely self-run.
No, I mean, people have been fantastic. When we first sort of came up with the idea, we pitched to both prisons and other breweries because we wanted to make sure that the idea was something that was kind of workable, and the other breweries have been unbelievably supportive and helpful, and so we've had loads of support in that sense. But no, we're not supported by the local authority.
No. This is an entirely self-run thing, which means that you've got to make this place pay for itself, and it has to. You buy through the sale of your drinks and the space which you will use. Well, this is absolutely fascinating. I need to. I'm sorry to say, to break off this conversation, because I do need to meet Jason, who is going to, I hope, show me around the brewery. And we'll, I mean, obviously we will show everybody that they must come here. We will put all the details in. Do you have a website that they ought to visit?
We do.
And it's
www.tapsocialmovement.com.
Tapsocialmovement.com.
That's right.
Brilliant. Well, it's nice to talk to you.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
I'm just going to find Jason.
Absolutely.
You can find us on Facebook. You can tweet at Cotswold Explore. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free.